old comics. Pretty cool.
These are super rare early Charles Schultz comics before Peanuts was actually a comic book.
Okay. Do you know the year on them?
Both of them are 1952. The first Peanuts comic was in 1953. You know, a lot like superheroes have early comic appearances in other comic books. These are early Peanuts Charles Schultz in other comic books.
So Charlie Brown is in here too?
Yes.
Okay, any of the other characters?
Whole gang. Lucy, Linus.
Snoopy's in there?
Yes.
Of all the Peanuts characters, he's the coolest.
I'm at the pawn shop today to sell my 2 pre-Peanuts comic books. One's called Tip Topper and the other's called Fritzy Ritz. I bought these 2 comic books raw off the internet. I got these comic books graded because I wanted to make sure that they were authentic and see how high of a grade that they would obtain. I'm hoping to make a deal today so I can redo the shower in my basement.
This is interesting. I mean, Charles Schultz. In the 40s, he had a little comic strip. Ended up changing the name of it to Peanuts in like 1950 or something like that.
Yes.
And just started off in a few newspapers. Next thing you know, it was in every newspaper. I mean, it was a big deal. I always loved Peanuts. I mean, those specials, the Great Pumpkin.
The Christmas special.
Snoopy flying his doghouse. You know, he has the dream. He's a pilot shooting down the Red Baron. Brings back a lot from my childhood. I'm not really familiar with Tip Topper comics or Fritzy Ritz. All right, how much you want for these?
I'm only asking $5,000.
Only?
Yeah, recently a Peanuts graded 4.5 sold for $4,800, and here you get 2 comics that are both earlier appearance and a lot more rare. This only has 2 copies, this has 10 copies.
Okay, there's the 2 things when it comes to value. There's supply, which is rarity, and there's demand. You can have something that's really, really rare, and if no one wants it, the price ain't there. So, like, is there like a price guide or anything? You looked up a price for these then?
The Tip Topper comic has not sold. There's only 2 copies ever graded, and the Fritzy Ritz has not sold in over a decade. So we really don't have any auction estimates to help guide us.
Okay. I'm gonna go call my guy Steve, the Encyclopedia of Comics, get him down here, and we'll go from there.
Great, let's see what he says.
All right, be right back. I have a customer in the shop with 2 vintage graded comic books that predate Peanuts and feature the famous Charles Schultz characters, including my favorite, Snoopy. He's asking for $5,000, and they're not the highest grades. But if they're rare, they could be worth that. So I've asked Steve Houston to come down and tell me if this is a doggone deal or not. Steve, how's it going?
Pleasure again. Nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
This guy has 2 comic books here he says were done by Charles Schultz with Peanuts characters inside before they were called Peanuts.
Well, memory serves, I think there's 2 pages in each book featuring work by Charles Schultz with the Peanuts crew.
Okay, so like just a small section is done by Charles Schultz.
Yes, it's just 2 pages, and then later on, you know, you get the Peanuts comic and you get the whole thing.
Okay.
All right, let me take a little look. All right, so Topper, interesting that isn't notated by CGC that there's Charles Schultz in here.
Are these worth a whole lot, or?
Okay, now this is where it gets interesting. Basically what we have here is a sort of a niche purchase to a select group of collectors.
Okay, I get it. Because when you display this on the wall, it's kind of sucks when you have to explain to them that it's Peanuts.
Yes, if anyone is going to be searching for these items, they are a super fan of Peanuts. However, the general populace will look at Topper and go, oh, and then move on to it. Do you have any Batman? Do you have any Spider-Man?
What do you think these would go for?
So the United Comics number 22 featuring the Fritzy Ritz. In 4.0, you might be getting about $400 for that book. And the Topper in 4.0, you know, maybe $300.
Okay, so it's $700 altogether?
Yes.
Okay, thanks, man. Okay, so obviously $5,000 not gonna happen. I'd give you $400 for the pair.
It's actually less than I paid for them, and then I got them graded. Could you do $650, and then you get to have your Snoopy?
I'll go $500.
500 seems a little low still.
I know, but I have to make a living.
I could let him go for $550.
I'm only doing this because I'm a really big fan of Snoopy.
I hope you enjoy them.
All right, man. Go right over there, and I'll have someone get you paid, okay? I'm almost tempted to open them up just so I can see early Snoopy.